Your host, Jay. Okay, guys, let's talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is the sequel to the original Doctor Strange, and it's also the 28th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is crazy to say out loud. But once again, Benedict Cumberbatch is back as Stephen Strange. This time he's joined by Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff. Benedict Wong is back. And newcomer Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez. Look, this is directed by the legendary Sam Raimi. Obviously, people would know him from Evil Dead, and comic book fans would obviously know him from the original Spider-Man trilogy starring Tobey Maguire. To say that this movie is its own thing, as far as style, is putting it mildly. So the general premise here is that Stephen Strange is kind of living his life as Doctor Strange, and he's in New York, and this giant monster shows up, and is chasing this young girl, and that turns out to be America Chavez. And so he's kind of pulled into it to try to save her, and then our story gets going as he learns more about her and why this monster is chasing her. And the movie starts out with a bang, right? It cannot be overstated how much this is a Sam Raimi film, as far as style is concerned. And once the movie really gets moving, and it does not take long, this might be one of the MCU's most unique, as far as style goes, films in a long time. I mean, they all have their own separate feel and genre, genre-wise, but this one is solidly in the suspense horror space, which is very cool, from the get-go. Look, the hopping across the multiverse looks good. It is fun as hell. There are some major cameos in this. If you can go into this without having this spoiled for you, please, by all means, do. I am not going to spoil anything for you. But what I will tell you is Sam Raimi is in his bag in this movie. Like, he is having a blast, and you will enjoy. If you like Sam Raimi's style, you're going to enjoy it. You're also going to love the Danny Elfman soundtrack, I think, or score. I think it's awesome. Look, it's weird to say at the 28th movie that this stuff still feels fun and fresh, but it does. Like, it still works. And look, Benedict Cumberbatch is having a good time, and he really gets to stretch in this movie, considering there are multiple versions of him that he gets to play against. It's just really neat. I want to say so much about this movie, but I don't want to give it away. The performances by Xochitl Gomez, her performance is great. As a newcomer to the MCU, she fits right in as this kid who is kind of thrust into this world and having to kind of adapt and figure out her powers and how they work, and and about herself and things like that. Benedict Wong, back as Wong, is awesome. Like, he's great as the sort of calm, steady force of this otherwise maddening universe, or multiple universes, that we are dealing with. There are the trailers kind of give away some of the bigger things, not bigger things, but at least one huge cameo that folks know about. But if you haven't watched the trailers, I don't want to give that away. So those things are very cool, and there's a lot of surprises in this and a lot of huge cameos that you are not expecting. I was pretty blown away by some of them, I have to tell you. The action is very cool. The design work in the original of buildings falling in on themselves and, multiple very interesting 3D of buildings moving and things like that. They take that and they go balls to the wall with some of this stuff. Like, some of the action sequences are as unique as I've seen, not just in the MCU, but overall. I just think they're really fun. And there's a particular action sequence between some characters that you can tell that when they were writing this, they were there was a lot of back patting, yeah, we nailed it. This is so unique and different. Everyone is going to be really impressed by this. And it is. It's a lot of fun. It's dark, really dark, as far as tone in a lot of ways. They really go for it as far as the horror element and the sort of suspense element. Some parts are pretty kind of creepy. I mean, it's Sam Raimi, so he's gonna like, he really kind of gets into his like Evil Dead sort of tone in a lot of ways. And like, you'll be shocked for an MCU movie where everyone's like, oh, it's so sanitized. Like, nah, is it? Because they just let Sam Raimi do his thing. And they push up to the line as far as they could with like a PG-13 rating. And it's actually very cool to see. I look forward to seeing more of Doctor Strange kind of dealing with this kind of side of the universe. It's very cool. It does make the first movie feel so very nice in comparison to what you get in Sam Raimi's vision. I would love for him to come back for a third movie. I really would. I think it would be really dope. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. Look, the score and the cinematography and the performances are all really good. Everyone is having a good time. Like legitimately, it is clear that everyone was like, they were told like, go balls to the wall on this. It's really fun. And again, if you are a fan of like Raimi's style, which is a lot of like, pull in shots of like the heroes and kind of like the hero stances of like the original Spider-Man trilogy and stuff like that, you get all of that. And it's kind of fun, man. Like they really are leaning into that style really heavily in this. And there are some major MCU implications. So, if you're one of those people who are like, I'm looking for all the like little threads and like, how is this going to connect to X, Y, and Z and stuff like that? There is a lot of that, but not so overwrought that it like takes away from the general story. It does a good job of kind of still grounding us in what is going on here without constantly being like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And the final thing I'll say about this is there are 2 post-credit scenes. So just, obviously stay for those. And they're both important / fun. So they're not a waste of your time. So check out Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think you're going to have a really good time, especially if you're an MCU fan. And we will see you guys next time.